I'm Jazman, and this is Saint Joan. Was Joan suicidal? These two abnormalities were the only ones that were irresistibly potent to Joan, and they brought her to the stake. Neither of them were peculiar to her. There was nothing peculiar about her except her vigor and scope of her mind and character, and the intensity of her vile energy. She was accused of suicidal tendency, and it is fact that when she attempted to escape from Behavior Castle, she jumped from a tower said to be 60 feet high. She took a risk beyond reason. Though she recovered from the crash after a few days fasting, her death was deliberately chosen as an alternative to life without liberty. In battle, she challenged death as Washington did at Waterloo, and as Nelson habitually did when he walked his quarter deck during his battle with all the decorations in full blaze. As neither Nelson nor Wellington nor any of these who have performed despite feats and preferred death to captivity has been accused of suicidal mania, Joan needed to be suspected of it. In the Behavior affair, there was more at stake than her freedom. She was distracted by the news, and campaign was about to fall, and she was convinced that she could save it if only she could get free. Still, the leap was so perilous that her common sense was not quite easy about it, and she expressed this as usual by saying that St. Catherine had forbidden her to do it, but forgave her afterwards for her disobedience. Tolerance, modern and medieval. The more closely we grapple with it, the more difficult it becomes. At first sight, we dispose to regret that Joan should have been excommunicated and left to go on her own way, though she would have protested vehemently against so cruel deprivation of her spiritual food, for confession, absolution, and the body of her Lord were first necessaries of life to her. Such as a spirit as Joan's might have got over that difficulty as the Church of England got over the bulls of Pope Leo, by making a church of her own, and affirming it to be the temple of true and original faith from which her persecutors had strayed. But as such proceedings was in the eye of both church and state at this time, and spreading on Jazman anarchy, its toleration was involved a greater strain on faith and freedom than political and essential human nature could bear. It is easy to say that church should have waited for the alleged evil results instead of amusing that they would occur in what would be. That sounded simple enough, but if a modern public health authority were to leave people entirely to their own, I can't do the rest.